In the heart of the Great Ice Age, the vast Eurasian landscapes became a stage for the greatest journey in human history.
Different lineages of early humans existed simultaneously, navigating the harsh terrains of a changing world with resilience and quiet curiosity. Adapted to the deep shadows of the northern forests, these archaic populations lived in harmony with the rhythm of the ancient woods. Meanwhile, early modern humans ventured into the open plains, carrying the seeds of a future that would eventually unite all of humanity.
What if we were not the only humans on Earth long before history? Across the frozen landscapes of the Ice Age, we were not alone, not one, but many human species walked this world. Different bodies, different instincts, different ways to survive. And yet, they all stood beneath the same sky. This world belonged to no single kind. In the mist-covered mountains, some adapted to thin air and brutal cold. Within dense forests, others moved silently, in rhythm with nature. Across vast open plains, a new kind of human began to travel farther, faster. Their faces were different, their forms were different, but deep within, something connected them all. Nature was never equal. Each land shaped its own kind of human. Some were built for endurance in the cold, others for speed across open terrain. Some thrived in tight-knit groups, others adapted with flexibility. The differences went beyond appearance. They shaped thought, perception, and survival itself. From a distance, they began to notice one another, not as enemies, but as something strangely familiar. Then, the world began to change. Ice advanced and retreated. Climates shifted without warning. Resources grew scarce. Paths began to cross. Eyes met for the first time. No words, no conflict, only recognition. They were no longer alone. And then, the inevitable happened. Encounters, not through violence, but through awareness. They observed one another, learning new ways to hunt, new ways to survive. Subtle signals, small gestures, a language. Before words existed, in silence, knowledge began to move. From this, something new emerged. Not just survival, but culture. They began to share not only actions, but meaning, a glance, a gesture. a moment of attention, became information. Knowledge no longer died with the individual. It stayed, it spread, it evolved. But balance never lasts. The world kept changing. Some species struggled to adapt. Others began to advance. Differences became advantages. More adaptable groups expanded. Others slowly faded. No cries, no clear traces, only a growing silence. In the end, the world grew quieter. Fewer footsteps,
The user
fewer
prompt explicitly
presences,
states,
and only one
only
path
ambient
remained.
sound, no
One
speech.
human species. Moving forward, not through dominance of strength, but through adaptation. Not through war, but through survival and adaptation. From that moment, they spread across the earth, crossing mountains, crossing oceans, entering lands never seen before. They shaped the environment, and the environment shaped them. Tools became more refined, thought became deeper, and for the first time, humans did not just survive, they began to understand. What remains is not bone, but legacy. Within us today still lives the trace of those last ancestors. The humans who disappeared never truly vanished. They became part of us, in memory, in DNA, in consciousness itself, and from those first steps, a new journey began. The journey of civilization. slow, fading tone from the distant past to the modern world. We are not the end of the story, we are its continuation.